Here.
Hello. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, let me come up.
What's up, Mob Radio?
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
how
up?
you doing, Mo?
I'm good. Who's this?
This Millie.
What's up, Millie? Is your
This
video
my
gonna
other
work, or we
page.
just that's cool? All right,
Hmm?
all right. So what'd you think of the interview?
I thought that interview was a crock of bullshit from start to finish. I feel like it was a desperate plea to get the court of public opinion on her side, one last ditch effort. I felt like a lot of the different things were contrived, and I feel like an omission of the facts is a lie. Why are we not hearing anything about the witness who allegedly saw her getting into a physical altercation with Kelsey? That's very important. Why do we hear nothing about anything that has to do with some type of strife with Kelsey? Does Tori really even have a motive? I
Facts.
mean, if the situation is the way that it looked to me in those transcripts, if it's that Kelsey may have been upset that you were sleeping with him behind her back, could it be that when she attacked you, you grabbed the weapon? You did have people move things from one vehicle to another. How we don't know that the gun wasn't in EJ's car and then
Oh,
transferred? We don't know that.
whose gun was it? Do we know whose gun it actually
We
was?
really don't know whose gun it was. We
Well, look, I
don't.
want
You
to just reiterate something you said there, which is 100% right. And look, I mean, I don't think it really speaks to the truth or the falsity. That wasn't like a real interview. That was a PR piece that her management set up with that person, Gayle, who asked no real questions. So you're right about that. But I mean, can we really blame her? It's her PR move. She got a new single coming out. That's what she chose.
No. I just think the people have to be more aware of the way that things are happening and the way that things are being laid out and the things that are being said. I don't feel like anybody who feels like the evidence is going to speak for itself needs to be reaching out to people to give, interviews and doing talks.
What did you think about the text message? There's apparently a text message from the friend to the bodyguard saying, "Help, Tori shot me."
That text message was very interesting to me because they kept the date. I know a lot of people said this was a dramatization, but they kept the original date, which was July 12th, and the timestamp said about 7:27 or something like that. Now,
I
we
don't
know that the
know.
shooting took place at about 4:30 in the morning.
I don't know if that was Eastern time or Central time or what.
We don't. And that's what I would like to know. That's my question. What time did that message come through? Because for someone who's supposed to be living in California, which is a security guard, Megan's security that the message went to, why would he be in a different time zone? If everybody's in the same location, why wouldn't the timestamp be the same? So if that's the case, why are you texting him what seems like hours later, asking him for any type of help? And then there was a point where Megan said her phone had died, but we know in the transcripts that she contacted management. Okay, was your phone dead by the time you got to the hospital? Kelsey came to the hospital. Did you get Kelsey's phone and send a text? We don't know.
So let me ask you a question. You've been following the case pretty closely. Are you saying that when Meg says that he shot at me 4 times, are we saying that she's making that up, like just like bald-faced looking at the camera and just lying?
Megan admitted to drinking that day. Megan admitted she had been there all day. I think that it's important to note that maybe we can get some things misconstrued when we're under the influence. Maybe she
Yep.
does not remember all the details, a particular type of when she tried to fill in those holes. Um, did she get hurt? Yes, she did. How did she get hurt? That is the question. I don't have any qualms about did a gun go off and did that affect Megan? Yes, absolutely it did, I believe. But like I said, on the other hand, how did you get there? And I think that's what's essential because she's accusing, somebody of shooting her. And when I think about it, her whole brand is built on the cornerstone of, being for women and being for young women and being a good friend and me and my bestie and this and that. If people knew from the beginning that you were sleeping, with somebody that your friend was interested in, that could have really, really, caused a hitch in what she had going on. Megan is still a very new artist. She has risen to the top fairly quickly, and she's attained so much that I think it looks like or feels like maybe, she's been around and she's been doing this and that. It's been like that, so that's something that I feel like could have really affected her career. And so I think when you start telling a lie, you got to keep up with it. And is Megan a liar is not a question. That's a fact.
One of the things you said there about the drinking, so you probably remember in the transcript, Tori's lawyer asks the police officer, Detective Stogner, who's in charge of the investigation, and he said, "Hey, did you ever ask Megan how much she had to drink that night?" He said, "Nah."
He
I'm
said no.
a witness who says that I was drinking and then not ask the follow-up question, how much drinking? That's crazy. That's horrible police work.
That is. That is. And when she sat with Gayle, they talked about how she just wanted to leave. Everybody else didn't want to leave. Why did you want to leave? I think that's important. And why did you not leave with the person that you came with? Why does it say that you left and came back?
Who was the person that she came with, that EJ in the transcript? Who is that? You know who that
EJ was her stylist.
Okay.
Yeah, he was her stylist. So I don't
The thing I
understand.
thought was really interesting in the transcript, the police officer said, "Oh, I don't look at the social media posts. I don't use social media in my investigation." And that's crazy when you consider how much information the witnesses put on social media for the detective to not look at that and evaluate it and
To
make.
not look at it. And they said if she had contradicted any claims, you know, via social media, would that be of importance to you? He says yes. Okay, well, you got a lot of important shit that you need to look at then. And you are very behind.
What
Because
did you
there's been
think?
a lot of contradictions.
The last person who was on the live, I mentioned this to them. What did you think about the part when it was like, oh, he was in the pool with Kylie, he didn't want to leave? I think it was because he was trying to hook up with Kylie, or because he didn't want to get in a car where the two women he had maybe been involved with each of them.
Let me tell you what I think based on, you know, what I feel like what sources have told me and what I've heard. I think that there was a sexual relationship with Tori and Megan. I feel like, you know how you have those little situations where we're not all the way on, you know, it'll be off and on. We mess with each other here or there, but it ain't that deep. So you may be out and about and you may be flirting with somebody else. I think that he was flirting with Kylie. I think that raised an issue. And I think that's why she was the one that wanted to leave. And I think that's why she had to ask. That's why I feel like an argument ensued. And I feel like that's why it was so important to get him out of that pool, because you're not going to stay here with her. I'm leaving, so you need to be leaving. I do feel like it was a pride thing. When they sat down with Gayle, they outright said that the reason why she asked for an interview was because people thought she was lying. So obviously you can't stand for people to feel a particular type of way or feel like somebody, quote unquote, fucking with you a particular way or coming at you a particular type of way. So is it possible to feel like, well, maybe you were upset that, you know, the guy that you was messing with had the nerve to be talking to somebody else in your face? I could think so.
So going back to my original issue with this whole case is this. I think that there's a lot of reasonable doubt, but I also think that a jury is going to want to hear, okay, well, if not him, then who? Or if not that, then what? What would you, if you had to give them an alternative that, hey, the prosecution wants you to think this happened, but really this is how it went down. What story would you spin?
You know what? I feel like I would love to see like some more evidence or hear like a couple more things or read a couple more things. But at this point, based on everything that's been out and everything I've seen, I'm leaning one of two ways. I feel like the witness said, they saw Kelsey get out the car and start whooping Megan ass in the front seat. The gun was ultimately found in the front seat in the passenger side. What if the gun was already sitting there? What if Megan got the gun to try to protect herself from getting whooped upside the damn head? Or Kelsey pulls it out. I don't see a scenario where Tori pulls out the gun to harm her. For what reason?
Yeah.
So those are the two that got a motive to me. But I feel like they have loyalty to each other. Would you try to protect your best friend before you protect the nigga that you was fucking with for a little while? Shit, life or death, jail, prison. If somebody got to go down, I'm going to throw the nigga under the bus.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. The idea that this eyewitness said that he saw the woman in the back,
right,
out the back, and come to the front and then start beating on the woman in the front. And then the fact that they did a whole interview, which is supposed to be Megan Thee Stallion addressing on TV, and then to not ask that, hey, this witness says that the person came and said, how do you not talk? That's crazy. They did a whole interview and they didn't talk about that at all.
How do you not talk about it? Right. And she emphasizes, I didn't put my hands on anybody. Okay, is that you telling somebody to put their hands on you? Like, I just feel like it'd be real cold, and she's very particular about, you know, how she said certain things. And, you know, I didn't even raise my voice. Well, why the hell the transcript say that's why the witness woke up? Y'all loud asses woke them people up. That's how he saw y'all.